Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the CoWaCo. We in the building. All right.
We are here. Everything is good. Everything is great. How you doing, Leroy?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Got some sunshine out there.
Good, good.
So,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes,
uh,
sir.
want to make sure that you all like, subscribe, and comment, and to let y'all know that we are not financial advisors. This is for educational and entertainment purposes only. So definitely want to just mention that to you all. So today, first off, we're going to be talking about parents investing for their children. Chris,
Yes, sir.
got
Very,
anything
very
to say?
important. Yes, sir. I got a whole lot to say. So look, Leroy, I want to say too, to add on to the fact that we are not financial advisors, you also put that in the description at the top of the video. So just in case you didn't hear it, Leroy also puts it at the top of the video like, hey, what's inside of the video is for you to use freely and for you to use however you feel best for you and yours. So I appreciate that because Leroy does all the heavy lifting. I'm just here as the mouthpiece to make us sound good, make us look good. But that's all on him. But yes, invest for the kids. Invest for the kids. So when you have and invest for kids that you don't have, if we being honest. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to invest. Obviously, you invest for the children that you have now, but invest for the children that you plan to have. So this way, when they do get here, your son or your daughter is not looking around like, hey, I have to conform to and I have to contort my naturally expressive self to I'm not relegated to a job. Like my mother and my father looked out for me. They started me this, before I was even born. They put some money aside little by little, whatever it was. And I know that Leroy wanted to get into the custodial accounts, which is a great, great idea for the kids that you already have here. As soon as they get here, start that for them. Whether it's for educational purposes or whether it's for business starting purposes when they get to a certain age, definitely a great idea. 100% do that because they will appreciate you in the future when they don't have to go and apply for these jobs that are not going to pay them their worth. And they'll be able to start a business with their friends. You start with the lemonade stand and then you work your way up to maybe selling t-shirts or selling merchandise from that lemonade stand, and then you work your way up to brick and mortar. So if you think about it, if you look at the ideal trajectory of a kid selling lemonade in a neighborhood when they're 6, 7 years old, maybe like maybe a big glass of lemonade too. Maybe it's 20 ounces, 32 ounces, and you charge $1 for that. Once if they're known in the neighborhood as the lemonade kid, or they're known in the neighborhood, the kid that sells everything, you're not just selling lemonade. You're probably selling lemonade. You're probably selling candy. You're probably selling other type of drinks. You're probably selling, hopefully, maybe you're trading cards or whatever it is, but you are known as that entrepreneurial kid in the neighborhood. And so 9, 10 rolls around, you start mass producing those shirts for that lemonade stand. You may not even have that lemonade stand anymore because you might have, moved up from that. But let's say now you get your lemonade bottle. Okay, whatever logo it is you go with, that's the logo on the shirt. So you're wearing that around elementary school. You're wearing that in middle school. And you're also still selling the other things. Then you get to high school. You still got the logo. You still got everything going. You still have now you're dealing with vendors and retailers and mom and pops, and you're in stores now. And you might be 15 years old in high school with lemonade that you started selling at 7 years old in 100 stores. They'll probably do a local news piece on you and you get some buzz that way, right? But you're still selling t-shirts. Now you're selling services to people. Okay, well, bring your bottles back into our now physical location to get a discount on a refill. So you don't have to pay 100% now when you come in. Or you can even do free, however you want to do it, depending on how much money you're making. But at that time, you're looking at partnerships with other businesses that don't even deal with lemonade or soft drinks or t-shirts or things that you were selling. Now you're looking at financial institutions. Now you're looking at technology. Now you're looking at industrials, materials. Now you're looking at farm ownership, so on and so forth. So now you own a farm, you don't have to just grow lemons. You can grow raspberries, strawberries, everything. So now you become the supplier. So by the time you finish high school, you're a multimillionaire who started off at 7 with this lemonade stand because of your branding. And you worked your way up. Now you not only supply the lemonade, but you supply the bottles that the lemonade go in. You're the owner. You have overhead from your physical brick and mortar, but people love the store because the technology in there is so fantastic. It goes beyond lemonade. And then you can get into, the more advanced stuff. So by the time you're 30, 40 years old, that company is worth millions. And you just started with a lemonade. So that is, and that type of entrepreneurial spirit is bred in the home. Again, open that account for your kids, and that's seed money. Putting that in there, let that grow. It gets, you don't have kids yet, but you plan on it, putting some money aside in your own account. So when they get here, you can take that out and put that into that custodial account, put that into their account. And so your son or daughter will grow up, or sons and daughters. How many? Have a lot of kids. Okay. I encourage, have a lot of kids. Kids are great. So, it's that little, it's when you look at the little versions of you, it's hilarious. But, and you're building for them. So they don't have to go through, applying for 17, 18, 20 jobs, or they don't have to sweep a floor anywhere. They do that at home. Let them do the chores at home, sweep the floor, take out the trash. But when they go out into the world at 17, 18 years old, they're going places that people could only dream to go at 17 and 18, and they're helping their peers. That's the one thing about what you'll notice about kids is they're the most helpful people on the planet because they want to see everybody win. Like, imagine Leroy at 18 years old, if you were a multimillionaire and you were going to Madagascar for the first time. You wouldn't want to do that by yourself. You want to bring other of your like-minded 17, 18-year-old friends with you, and the 10 of y'all go to Madagascar. You know what I mean? And so it's really beautiful to see that. So yes, in short, invest for the kids. Invest for them. Very important.
Yes. And then also, if you think about it too, is by you actually having this account open up for your children, this actually starts a conversation, with your children about stock market. See, and then so you will be actually, talking back and forth with them about companies that's actually on the stock market. You'll be talking to them about basically finances, or what is going on with this with these particular companies on the stock market, and this is educating them, at the same point where they get basically drawn in to, okay, well, let's see, should I actually invest in this particular company by, looking at the graph, finances, what are news talking about this particular company? So this starts them to even start at an early age and knowing what the stock market is. And also, this also causes for an effect to be able to actually affect their other, friends that's like-minded. Because what's going to happen is, man, they're going to be, talking about different companies that they actually know about, and they'll be like, man, did you invest into that company? I know you're talking about. Matter of fact, this lemonade stand that we actually have. What company actually be able to deals with lemonade? You know, shoot, I can be able to actually invest in some of my money in that. You know what? Once I make some money off of this lemonade stand, I'm gonna give this to my parents to be able to actually put into that account. So it'll be able to actually grow, and they don't have to, again, don't have to put a lot, you know, especially if that account allows you to be able to do, again, partial shares, actually investing for the children. So I just want to also mention that too.
And I'm not 100% Leroy on the I'm not 100% on, because you know how when you have, I know, and we'll go to the next topic, but I wonder if because with the custodial account, if you have an IRA, traditional IRA, or a Roth, or I believe even a SEP IRA, no T, you have to have, there's a minimum that you have to put in every year. Or no, there's a maximum, my apologies. There's a maximum that you can put in every year. And I don't know if the custodial accounts work like that, where it's a maximum that you can put in. And that's depending on your age. Of course, with the IRAs type accounts, there's a maximum that you can put in. I don't know if it's, but y'all do your research, because I'm not 100% on if there's a maximum, because you're dealing with kids. It's kind of like, it kind of limits their potential. I know that there is a maximum for stock gift giving. So even if, let's say you want to wait until your kid is 18 to get an independent, their own brokerage account, like they have their own, and you want to save money and save money and save money until that day that they can get their own brokerage account, and then gift them, or let me start over. You invest that money into companies up until the point that they become 18 and they can get their own account, and then you just gift them the shares there. I do believe there is a limit there annually. But again, with the custodial accounts, the research, I don't know if there is a limit with that. But even if that's the case, right, it's no limit on how much money you can use to start your own business. There's no limit to how much money your own business can make. So that lemonade stand is just the beginning. And then all of that money from that lemonade stand can go into that custodial account, right?
Right.
And then you could do half. Half could go into the custodial account. Half could go into growing the business. It just depends. But you have options. Don't know. I don't know if there is a minimum, but you have options. You got a lot. You always have options. Never put yourself in a situation where you don't.
That's right. All right. So the next topic we want to talk about is let's say that you're skeptical about investing, right? What you're actually feeling skeptical about investing, even if you have just a little bit of money, to be able to actually put into the stock market, even if you're kind of like a little bit afraid, that little bit of money that you actually can invest, plays a important part. So what you want to say about that, Chris?
I think so. That's a beautiful point. That little bit of money plays a big part. So a part of this movement, this journey that we want to take y'all on is sort of, finding, balancing your budget, if you will, right? Like knowing where your money goes and knowing that you can take a little bit. So not doing so much regretful spending, right? We go to the grocery store, we have a list. That list should not come up to more than $50, right? But by the time we check out, our total was $110.15. And it's like, well, how did I get to this point where I originally went into the grocery store to spend $50? Now I'm walking out spending more than double, right? Did you need all of the items that you put in the grocery cart? Maybe you did. But in most instances, I would argue that you didn't, right? Look at that when you go out to eat every week, or look at that. And I'm not saying stop doing that. I'm saying instead of going out 4 times a week, go out 3 times. And then the money that you would have spent on the 4th time, you put that into the market, right? So let's say it cost you, between you and your lady, between you and your guy, let's say it cost y'all $50 to go out to eat on average. Let's say y'all go out 3 times a week. That's $150 a week that the two of you spend going out to eat, right? And we can't even include kids, because if we include kids, you cannot do that. That's $150 that need to go to diapers, wipes, okay, stroller wheels, toys. So let's just say the two of you do not have children yet. That's $150, right? So let's say Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then Saturday, Saturday through Tuesday, y'all cooking. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you go out to eat. Instead of going out on Wednesday, just go out Thursday, Friday. And then the $50 that you were going to spend eating out on Wednesday, you take and you invest that in the market. Now, I'm only suggesting this because if you're a little skeptical, if you're a little hesitant, that's $50. In the grand scheme of it, that's not a lot of the money that you make. So even if you, what I'm advocating for is just taking a chance on yourself. You could go less than that. Let's say you hey, I don't want to dip my toe in all the way. This is a lot. All of these companies, every day I hear about this going up and then this going down. And then all of these people are making a whole bunch of over here. They made a whole lot of money on this. And then a whole bunch of people made a whole lot of money on that. But these people right here, man, they lost everything because they thought that it was going to do what those other two things did. Even if you're skeptical in that. And honestly, even if you just invest in the products that are around your house, and the products that are around your house that you have around you, 5, 10, again, you can invest $1 at a time now if you want. That is available to you. They have several platforms, right? But if you are absolutely hesitant, skeptical, like I don't want to put in $1,000 and see that $1,000 come down to 880 and just right because I can't handle it, that's fine. If you invest $10 a week into the market and you see that $10 come down right when you invested, let's say the market, let's say that company you invested in falls a couple percent, or falls $2 right after you invest in it, and you go, man, I go down to 8. You'll probably be, and I have to do I feel like I'm gonna do a study on this, because from 10 to 8 obviously is not a huge loss as 1,000 to 800, but you might let it ride if you see it go from 10 to 8, and then you might check it every day, and then you might see it go up to 9, and then 950, and then 10, and then 11. Now you're like, oh, okay, I'm making money. So let's start with the micro investing. If you're skeptical to get in the market, still get in. Like, do not let your skepticism have you missing out on all of these great opportunities. But the companies that we list, and we'll talk about stock picks in a minute. I've got 3. I know Leroy has 3. The 3 that I have, or the 3, pick between whichever one, or combine the 2. Put that $10 in there. And you're talking $10 for between these 6 entities. That's not a whole, it's a couple dollars here, a couple dollars there. But if you're skeptical, I think what you'll start to realize is like, man, I put 10 in, I'm not losing sleep over it, I'm not sweating or anything like that. And a week goes by and now that 10 is worth 12. That same, okay, now I think I can invest this $10. So you put 10 in now, so you're at 22. And then the week after that, that 22 is 25. And you go, oh, okay, I like it. And what happens is it will allow you to automate your investments in the market. If you are skeptical, start off small. 5, 10, 20 a week, that's it. Then if you start to see, if 3 months down the line, that money that you're putting in every week, if it's just losing money, I'm not going to tell you to take it out because I want you to keep it in, but I want you to reevaluate the companies that you invested in. You only lose money that you invest in the market when you pull out less than what you pull in. If I invest $100 into the market and it drops to 500, 6 months later, it is still at 500. A year later, it's still at 500. I didn't lose any money. I didn't lose any money. I lost value, but I didn't lose any money. Now, if I'm scared and I say, man, it's been a year, I lost $500, and I pull out 500, then I lost $500. But 6 months later, after that investing, my $1,000 is now worth $1,200, and I pull out. I made 200 because I waited. I was patient. So, one, if you're skeptical, give yourself some time, but invest little by little. And then once you start to see that growth happen, then you can put more money in.
Invest little by little.
But we'll invest little by little, because a little bit goes a long way. If you think about in life in general, it's never the big things that cause destruction or chaos. It's always the little things. So little by little, put your money in every week, every month, whatever. I mean, even if you invest in $10 a month, whatever you can handle, right? Whatever it is that you're comfortable doing, put that in the market and do not touch it. And I will say this, put money in that if everything were to go wrong the next day and just crash, you would be okay losing. I mean, think about it. When you go out to eat, that's one time you're going out to eat, right? That plate of shrimp, seafood that you got, that you're eating, or that big steak that you're eating with the mashed potatoes and the asparagus, or the salad that you had with the rolls and the turkey, that's a one-time thing. You're going to eat that, your body is going to digest that, you're going to go to the bathroom, and that's it. So you just took $50 to eat out and essentially gave that money away because you didn't get anything. You got nourishment in return, but you could have taken that $50 and gone to the grocery store, spent $20 to get all the necessary ingredients you needed, took that $30 and invested. So you see what I mean? So it's investing is not transactional. It's not one for one. It's one for a whole lot, but I'll wait. So that's how you got to think about investing.
Good point that you made there. And even if you're investing just a little bit, even if it's $2, you're kind of like testing the waters. It's like you're testing it to see. All right, so I'm gonna put this $5 in, right? I'm testing the waters to see what this particular company is going to actually do. If you kind of like done a little bit of research, or like you say, you're skeptical, and I'm just testing the waters, put this 5 in just to see what it's going to do. And then as it goes fluctuate up and down, let's say like it starts to actually increase, you put that 5 in. Oh, okay, I put a little bit more in because you test the waters, so you just kind of
put
test
a little bit more.
See. Yeah, just to see. Let's see what let's just test it out to see what it's going to do.
And it's quality. Yeah, and what you'll start to realize is once you get into those quality companies, you start to feel more comfortable investing. And so hopefully your fear lets up because okay, I'm in Apple, I'm in Microsoft, I'm in Google, I'm in Amazon, I'm in Square, I'm in Tesla, I'm in Walmart, Nike, right? All of the top come in Target. You'll start to realize, okay, these companies are making money. Good, okay. All right. And if you're really, really skeptical, here's another thing. Just invest. So I think Leroy, I would argue between the two of us, is like the ETF. He's the guy. I love ETFs too. I think any good investor loves a good ETF. But pick the top performing ETF. And this is, again, I will say this every single video. None of this is new advice. You hear this all the time. We are just here trying to corral everybody in. Come on. We'll show you to where your classrooms are, but we are not your professors. 203 is that way. 404 is that way. The graduates are in the next building. Go over there and holler at them. If you got more knowledge, go ahead and do your thing. But when you have pick the number one performing ETF, put $5 in there. $10 in there. And you watch, and then you can start to pick from there. Okay, I like these individual companies. But if you're super, super skeptical, just invest in the basket. Don't worry about picking out each of the eggs out of the basket and examining which one is better and which one looks the nicest. No, 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 no. Invest in the whole basket. That's the best performing basket. That's a good, go ahead and put your money over there in that basket so you can see it grow. And then you can start to pick those individual companies that you want to focus more of your energy on.
That's true. All right, so now I'm about to do some stock picks.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. So,
all right.
What
get
you
my
got,
lighting
Chris?
right. You know, the sun is coming. The sun is coming closer. Look at our. You see me backing away, right? So I love the sun, but I want y'all to see all of this. So my stock picks for this week. I'm gonna go Target. I'm gonna go Apple. I'm gonna go Google. So Apple, because they have the brand loyalty, the most brand loyalty of any company in the country, and I really want to see what their electric vehicle looks like. I need them to like undo a roll, like unveil what they're gonna do with that. They're heavy into the healthcare space, so look out for that because they have other large technology companies following them into that space because they know they will have to survive. Google, again, that was my pick. Google might be my pick every week because Google is the number. I mean, Google is a part of the lexicon. Google is everywhere. What are we doing without Google? What is life without Google? And then of course their ad revenue, the average Google ad, oh my God, and an analytic, like everything, Google makes really smart plays in terms of acquisitions and using those acquisitions obviously to their advantage. It's one of the biggest companies in the world. And also I'm trying to get look, well, we need Google as a sponsor. Google, sponsor us. We're on YouTube. So I mean, hey. And then Target. Target is the Apple of retail, right? Target is like, Target is the Nike of retail. Like people who are loyal to Target, they are loyal to Target. They will only shop at Target. And all of the retailers now have to automate, right? And so there are 20 registers in the store, but only 4 are open. And so those are mostly, like I know when you go to Walmart, those are for people who are paying cash. Sort of a punishment. It's unfortunate. And I still rock with Walmart just because, again, the dividend is good. And they're growing and they're going to keep being Walmart. But Target is my pick for this week over Walmart because of that loyalty that they have to the brand. And because of the very, so they treat their customers, which they call guests, by the way, they treat their customers, they try to welcome them in, they try to welcome them into this experience. Mm-hmm. And I think Target's partnerships are really, Target has some very good partnerships with, I'm thinking of that young lady that has that, I wanted like that. She's got a I want to say it's a cosmetics line, but anyway, they do really solid partnerships with smaller organizations that are not, huge suppliers and retailers. But Target, Apple, Google this week for me.
All right, so I'm gonna go with the same two. So
I know you got an ETF in there.
Oh, right. Look, check this out. All right.
Look. I know you got an ETF in there, but go ahead.
I'm gonna go with the same two. And my ETF that I'm actually going with is to piggyback off of when he mentioned Target, right? It's going to be XLY, which is basically the consumer discretionary ETF. Inside that particular ETF, guess what you got? You got, and I know you're going to recognize Amazon. You got Tesla. You got Target in there too. So you got Target in there too.
And those are what, the top 3 positions, right?
Oh well, actually, the top
Those are the top 3.
is Amazon, Tesla, and McDonald's.
Okay.
Are the
Right,
top
and
3.
it's crazy, right? So Tesla isn't a consumer discretionary. But
Yeah.
anyway, I mean, look up what that means. But okay, that's fine. But go ahead.
You got Nike in there. You got Lowe's. You got Home Depot. Man, you even got this Booking Holdings. I want you all to actually look up Booking Holdings and see how much their particular stock is. You'll be surprised. So I definitely want you to that's your homework, to definitely look that up and see how much that particular stock actually costs. So
we got to get more subscribers, Leroy. Look, we giving our homework. We got 1 subscriber.
Hey, well, when you look back at this video,
we giving our homework. Hey, look, okay, I'm with you, man. I'm with you.
So whenever you actually look at this video, you're like, well, dang, he did give a homework.
100,000. I'm like, man, they was giving our homework already, right?
Yeah.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
So yeah. So yeah, that's going to end for today. Of our episode of our class for today.
Yes, sir.
So
I like that.
We're gonna be what? The CoWaCo is in the building.
Company waterproof.
There you go. And make sure you
yes, sir.
Like, subscribe, and comment.
We appreciate you.
All right.
On the next one, y'all. We'll see y'all on the next one.
Yes.